How often do you find yourself lost in the shadow of someone else's success, wondering why your own light doesn't shine as bright? It's a feeling so many carry quietly, the weight of comparison pressing down like an invisible chain, holding you back from fully stepping into your power. The truth is, looking at others can feel like a mirror reflecting everything you believe you lack. But what if that mirror is cracked, showing only fragments and distortions? What if the real struggle isn't with them, but with how you've trained your mind to measure your worth through their achievements? This constant measuring steals your energy, your confidence, and most importantly, your joy. When you compare, you lose sight of your unique path. You forget that your journey is unlike anyone else's, and that's exactly where your power lies. It's exhausting to live in a world that encourages you to keep up, to be better, to outshine, but the cost is often your peace of mind. Deep down, you know this isn't the life you want. You want freedom from doubt, from fear, from that relentless voice that says you're not enough. Imagine what it would feel like to break free from this cycle, to stop looking outward for validation and start turning your focus inward where true growth begins. When you stop comparing yourself to others, you reclaim the energy that was wasted on jealousy and self-doubt. You open space in your mind and heart to nurture your own dreams and talents. This is not just about feeling better, it's about becoming stronger, more resilient, and deeply connected to who you really are. It's about building a life that feels authentic and fulfilling, not one built on the shifting sands of other people's standards. The freedom that comes from focusing on yourself is real, and it is waiting for you. Staying engaged with this journey is crucial, because it will change how you see everything, your goals, your relationships, your challenges. You will begin to notice a shift, subtle at first, then undeniable. A lightness will replace the heaviness of comparison. A quiet confidence will grow where insecurity once lived. And the dreams that felt distant will start to feel possible, because you will have reclaimed the most important source of motivation, your own heart. This isn't a quick fix or a simple trick. It's a transformation that takes courage and patience. But the reward is profound. When you focus on yourself, you build a foundation so strong that no external circumstance can shake you. You become your own anchor in a turbulent world. So, if you've ever felt trapped by the endless cycle of comparing, if you're tired of feeling less than, this is your moment. This is where your journey begins, not with others, but with you. Let's explore together how shifting your focus inward can ignite the courage, passion, and clarity you need to live a life that truly belongs to you. Because the greatest power you have is the power to choose where your attention goes. And when that power is placed on yourself, there's no limit to what you can become. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that other people's lives are perfect, flawless, and free from struggle. We see their successes, their smiles, their moments of triumph, and our minds fill in the gaps with stories that make their journey seem effortless. But what if everything you think you know about their lives is just a carefully crafted illusion? People rarely show their fears, their failures, or the battles they fight behind closed doors. The polished image you admire is often just a highlight reel, edited to hide the messy, painful, and uncertain moments that everyone faces. Our brains are wired to focus on what looks good, what seems easy, and what others choose to reveal, which tricks us into believing that we're the only ones struggling. This illusion can make your own challenges feel heavier, more isolating, and even unbearable. Understanding this is powerful because it frees you from the burden of false comparisons. When you realize that nobody's life is perfect, you begin to see your own journey with more kindness and clarity. The pressure to measure up to an impossible standard begins to fade, replaced by the awareness that everyone is navigating their own imperfect path. This truth is liberating. It allows you to stop chasing someone else's story and start writing your own with honesty and courage. When you let go of the illusion, your focus sharpens. You become more present with your reality, more patient with your progress, and more determined to grow on your own terms. Your mind deserves the truth because what you believe about others shapes how you feel about yourself. Believing in a flawless other person creates an unfair comparison that dims your sense of worth. But when you see beyond the surface, you reclaim the narrative. You recognize that growth is messy and success is often built on a foundation of setbacks. This knowledge plants the seeds of compassion, not just for others, but most importantly for yourself. Compassion softens the harsh inner critic that fuels self-doubt and replaces it with a steady voice of encouragement. It teaches you to appreciate your unique struggles and victories as essential parts of your story, rather than reasons to feel less. As you deepen this understanding, your emotional energy shifts from envy and frustration toward acceptance and hope. You start to notice your own strengths, your resilience, and your capacity to overcome obstacles. The more you focus on your reality rather than illusions, the more empowered you become to take action. This shift rewires your brain to seek solutions instead of distractions, growth instead of escape. You build confidence not by comparing, but by consistently showing up for yourself, by honoring your effort, and by embracing the process of becoming who you are meant to be. There is immense power in seeing the truth behind the image, the courage to look past appearances and connect with your authentic self. This power fuels transformation. When you stop idolizing others' lives and start appreciating your own, you create space for genuine progress and deep fulfillment. The journey inward beyond the illusions is where true strength is found. It is here that you reclaim your peace, your purpose, and the freedom to focus on what really matters, becoming the best version of yourself. The only person who will walk with you through every moment of your life is yourself. This truth is both simple and profound. No matter where you go, what challenges arise, or how many people come and go, you remain your constant companion. When you focus your energy outward, constantly chasing approval, validation, or comparison, you lose sight of the most vital relationship you have, the one with yourself. The depth of your strength, the well of your courage, and the clarity of your purpose are all nurtured by this internal connection. To focus on yourself is to recognize that your life's path is yours alone to travel, and only by honoring this journey can you unlock the resilience and confidence necessary to face whatever comes your way. The power of owning your journey lies in the choice to take full responsibility for your growth and happiness. When you stop blaming circumstances, other people, or the noise of the outside world for how you feel, you reclaim your authority. You step out of the role of victim and into the role of creator. This shift is not about perfection or control. It's about accepting that you hold the pen to your story. Every thought you think, every action you take shapes the reality you experience. This understanding ignites a profound psychological shift, one that builds self-reliance and inner peace. You no longer wait for others to give you permission to thrive. Instead, you give yourself permission to live fully, boldly, and authentically. Embracing yourself as your only constant means investing in your mind, body, and spirit with fierce compassion and commitment. It means nurturing habits that support your well-being rather than drain it. The brain is a muscle that grows stronger through consistent practice. When you focus on developing resilience, positivity, and clarity within yourself, you create a foundation that cannot be shaken by external chaos. This internal strength allows you to face failures without fear, to rise after setbacks, and to keep moving forward with unwavering determination. When you prioritize your growth, you become an unstoppable force, not because you ignore the world, but because you anchor yourself firmly within. This path demands courage because it requires turning inward when distractions scream louder than your own voice. It means quieting the noise of comparison, doubt, and criticism to hear the whispers of your true desires and values. But it also offers the deepest reward, a life lived on your terms, shaped by your vision, and fueled by your passion. This is freedom, the freedom to pursue what matters most without the burden of others' expectations or judgments. It is a freedom born from clarity and self-trust, a freedom that no one can take away. When you focus on yourself, you build a fortress of confidence that protects you from the storms of external opinion. You cultivate an unshakable belief in your worth and potential. This is not arrogance, it is grounded self-respect and acceptance. It is the knowledge that you are enough, exactly as you are, and that your journey is meaningful simply because it is yours. This belief propels you forward, fuels your dreams, and empowers you to take action, even when fear whispers that you shouldn't. In this space, you become unstoppable, not because you ignore the world, but because you have mastered the most important relationship of all, the one with yourself. Seeking approval from others may seem natural, even necessary, but it quietly erodes the foundation of your strength. When you rely on external validation to feel worthy, you give away your power. Every like, every compliment, every nod of approval becomes a fragile thread holding your confidence hostage. The truth is, this kind of dependence is a trap. It creates a cycle where your happiness is dictated by forces beyond your control. No one can give you lasting fulfillment except yourself. The moments when you feel most alive, most at peace, come from within, not from applause or recognition. Understanding this is critical because it reveals where true motivation begins, inside your own heart and mind. Your brain reacts to external praise with brief surges of pleasure, but these moments fade quickly, leaving you chasing the next hit of approval. This fleeting reward creates a roller coaster of highs and lows, which wears down your emotional resilience over time. The more you seek validation outside, the more vulnerable you become to disappointment, insecurity, and anxiety. Real, lasting confidence does not come from outside. It emerges when you build a strong internal compass, a clear sense of your values, goals, and worth that no external voice can shake. When you anchor your self-worth internally, you stop reacting to every judgment and start directing your life with intention and courage. This internal compass is your most reliable guide. It grounds you in moments of uncertainty and propels you forward when the path feels unclear. When your motivation is fueled by your own values and vision, you tap into a deeper, more sustainable source of energy. You move because you believe in yourself, not because you need others to believe in you. This shift transforms your experience. Suddenly, challenges feel like opportunities to prove your strength, not threats to your worth. You find the freedom to take risks, make mistakes, and grow without fear of losing approval. You become resilient not because you avoid failure, but because your confidence does not depend on success or recognition. Building this internal validation is an act of courage and discipline. It means practicing self-awareness to recognize when you're seeking approval and gently redirecting your focus inward. It means developing habits that reinforce your worth, like affirming your efforts, celebrating your progress, and forgiving your mistakes. It means tuning into your own voice and trusting it over the noise of outside opinions. This process rewires your brain, strengthening neural pathways that support self-esteem and autonomy. Over time, you cultivate a quiet but powerful confidence that no external judgment can undermine. When you commit to this internal focus, you unlock a profound freedom. You no longer live at the mercy of others' expectations or comparisons. Instead, you live anchored in your truth and fueled by your passion. This is the foundation of true courage, the courage to be yourself fully, unapologetically, and with unwavering belief in your own worth. This courage carries you through doubt, fear, and uncertainty, transforming obstacles into stepping stones. It invites you to create a life of meaning and purpose, grounded not in others' approval, but in the deep, unshakable conviction that you are enough, just as you are. Focusing on yourself means learning the art of saying no. No to distractions, no to obligations that drain your energy, and no to anything that pulls you away from your growth. Setting boundaries is not selfish. It is essential. It is the way you protect your most valuable resource, your time and energy. Without clear boundaries, your focus fractures, leaving you scattered and exhausted. Your mind becomes a battlefield of competing demands, leaving little room for the deep work of becoming who you want to be. The ability to set boundaries is a powerful act of self-respect. It signals to yourself and others that your priorities matter, that your well-being matters, and that your growth is non-negotiable. Many fear setting boundaries because they worry about disappointing others or missing out. But living to please everyone else is a sure path to losing yourself. When you say yes to everything, you say no to the things that fuel your soul. You dilute your energy and weaken your purpose. Psychological research shows that people who maintain healthy boundaries report higher levels of happiness, lower stress, and greater clarity. This is because boundaries create space, a space where your mind can focus, where your goals can breathe, and where your true self can emerge without interference. Saying no is a declaration that you value your life enough to guard it fiercely. Creating boundaries starts with clarity about what you truly want and need. It requires honest self-reflection to identify what drains you and what uplifts you. This is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice. Your boundaries will evolve as you grow, but the principle remains the same. Protect your focus by protecting yourself. When you enforce your boundaries consistently, you cultivate a sense of control and peace. Your energy flows where it belongs, into your dreams, your passions, and your healing. This internal order creates mental space for creativity, resilience, and sustained motivation. Boundaries also help you develop deeper relationships, not by pushing people away, but by inviting connection that honors your values. When you respect your limits, others learn to respect them too. This mutual respect frees you from toxic patterns and opens doors to genuine support. It's a paradox. By saying no, you often say yes to more meaningful connections and opportunities. The courage to protect yourself is the foundation for authentic relationships that nourish your growth instead of stunting it. The process of setting boundaries strengthens your identity. It teaches you to listen to your inner voice, to trust your instincts, and to prioritize your well-being above external pressures. This discipline sharpens your focus and aligns your actions with your highest values. You begin to experience a profound shift. Your life becomes less about reacting to demands and more about creating space for what matters most. This shift is transformative because it rewires your brain to seek fulfillment from within rather than from scattered external distractions. Choosing to focus on yourself by setting boundaries is not always easy, but it is always worth it. It is an act of courage that honors your growth and protects your potential. When you stand firm in your limits, you reclaim your power and deepen your commitment to your journey. This commitment fuels resilience, sharpens focus, and ignites the passion necessary to live a life that truly belongs to you, free from the noise and demands that once held you back. The way you speak to yourself shapes the world you live in. Every thought, every word inside your mind becomes the lens through which you see reality. Negative self-talk acts like a slow poison, eroding your confidence and feeding doubt. It convinces you that you are not worthy, not capable, not enough. But what if you chose to speak differently? What if you replaced judgment with kindness, criticism with encouragement? The way you treat yourself internally is the foundation of your transformation. When your inner voice becomes your greatest supporter instead of your harshest critic, your entire experience changes. Your brain is wired to respond to language. Positive, empowering words activate circuits that boost motivation and resilience. They calm the stress response and open pathways for creativity and problem solving. This is why self-compassion is not just a feel-good concept. It's a psychological necessity. When you learn to challenge negative thoughts and replace them with affirming ones, you reshape your internal narrative. This isn't about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to focus on what serves your growth and healing. The words you repeat to yourself build your emotional environment, influencing your actions and decisions more than you realize. Silencing your inner critic takes practice and courage. It requires awareness of when you slip into harmful thinking patterns and the strength to interrupt them. When you catch yourself saying, "I can't, I'm not good enough, or I'll never succeed," pause and question these thoughts. Are they facts or fears? Are they reflections of reality or echoes of old wounds? Replacing these with statements like, "I am capable," "I am learning," or "I deserve progress" rewires your mindset toward growth. This mental shift nurtures confidence and builds resilience, the ability to bounce back stronger from setbacks. The journey to self-kindness isn't linear, but each step forward deepens your emotional strength. The emotional reward of mastering your inner dialogue is profound. When you become your own ally, you tap into a steady source of motivation that doesn't depend on external approval or fleeting success. This self-acceptance frees you from the exhausting cycle of comparison and self-judgment. Instead, you cultivate patience with yourself, understanding that growth takes time and effort. This patience transforms frustration into perseverance and doubt into curiosity. You learn to embrace imperfection as part of progress, allowing yourself to try again without fear of failure. Transforming your internal language influences every area of your life. It shapes how you approach challenges, interact with others, and pursue your goals. A supportive inner voice encourages risk-taking, fuels passion, and sustains focus through difficult times. It reminds you why you started and what you're capable of achieving. This psychological shift moves you from a reactive state where fear and self-doubt hold you back into a proactive state where you take charge of your journey with clarity and courage. Choosing to rewrite your inner story is one of the most powerful actions you can take to focus on yourself. It's the foundation for lasting change, self-confidence, and inner peace. When your mind becomes a source of encouragement rather than criticism, your potential unfolds without limits. Your inner voice becomes the force that propels you toward a life rooted in authenticity, strength, and unwavering belief in yourself. This transformation is the key to unlocking the future you deserve. Your environment shapes your mindset more than you might realize. The people you surround yourself with, the spaces you inhabit, and the inputs you consume all influence your thoughts, emotions, and energy. When your environment is chaotic, toxic, or filled with negativity, it becomes nearly impossible to maintain focus on yourself. You absorb stress, doubts, and distractions from your surroundings, which chip away at your motivation and clarity. To truly focus on yourself, you must curate an environment that supports your growth, one that fuels your purpose rather than draining it. This intentional creation of space is not just physical, it's mental and emotional as well. Choosing who and what you allow into your life is an act of self-care and self-respect. Toxic relationships, negative influences, and draining habits keep you stuck in cycles of fear and doubt. They pull your attention outward, away from your goals and your true self. When you consciously remove these elements, you create space for positivity, inspiration, and empowerment. The clearer your environment becomes, the clearer your mind becomes. Clarity is the soil where motivation grows, where focus takes root, and where transformation happens. Surrounding yourself with encouragement, support, and aligned energy makes it easier to stay true to your path and resist the pull of distraction. Mental clutter is as damaging as physical clutter. An overload of information, endless noise, and chaotic thoughts leave your brain exhausted and scattered. Your mind needs quiet in order to perform at its best. Meditation, reflection, or simply unplugging from constant digital input helps reset your mental state. These practices build mental resilience, allowing you to maintain focus on your goals despite external pressures. When your environment nourishes your mental health, your motivation is sustainable rather than fleeting. You gain the ability to tune out the irrelevant and tune into what truly matters, strengthening your connection to yourself. Emotional energy is equally critical. People who bring negativity, judgment, or drama into your life create emotional noise that disrupts your inner peace. Letting go of relationships or situations that drain your spirit is not easy, but it is necessary. Emotional boundaries protect your well-being and preserve the energy you need to grow. When you prioritize relationships that uplift and challenge you positively, you build a support system that encourages your best self. This network becomes a mirror reflecting your worth and potential back to you, reinforcing your commitment to your journey. Creating an environment aligned with your purpose is a powerful form of self-love. It signals to your subconscious mind that you are worthy of respect, peace, and success. This alignment fuels confidence and invites opportunity. When your outer world reflects your inner goals, your energy flows effortlessly toward action. You become a magnet for growth because everything around you supports your transformation. This intentional curation turns distractions into tools and obstacles into stepping stones. You don't just survive your environment, you harness it to propel you forward. The environment you create is a powerful force in your journey to focus on yourself. It sets the tone for your mindset, your energy, and your progress. By taking control of what you expose yourself to, you reclaim power over your life. You build a sanctuary where your dreams can breathe, your courage can grow, and your true potential can flourish. This is the foundation for lasting change and unwavering focus. When your environment nurtures you, you become unstoppable. Your habits shape your identity more than you might realize. Each small action repeated daily builds the person you become. When you focus on yourself, you prioritize habits that align with your growth, not habits that serve distraction or comfort. It's easy to fall into routines that keep you stagnant, scrolling endlessly, procrastinating, or avoiding discomfort. But true transformation requires deliberate choice. The power to change your life rests in the daily decisions you make, not in sudden dramatic shifts. Consistent, small steps toward your goals accumulate into unstoppable momentum. The science of habit formation reveals a simple truth. Your brain craves routine because it conserves energy. This is why change is difficult. It forces your brain to break free from familiar patterns. Yet breaking old habits and building new ones is the key to shifting your focus inward and creating lasting transformation. When you commit to positive habits, you rewire your brain. You create new neural pathways that support confidence, discipline, and resilience. This neurological change is the foundation for real, sustainable growth. It is the evidence that focusing on yourself is not just an idea. It is a process rooted in biology. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, even when motivation fades. Motivation is fleeting and often unreliable. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when excitement wanes. Building discipline begins with designing your environment and routines to make positive habits easier and negative habits harder. It means preparing for obstacles before they arise and having a plan to stay on track. Discipline is a muscle that strengthens with practice. The more you show up for yourself, the more you build trust in your ability to create change. Consistency in your habits fuels self-trust, which is crucial for focusing on yourself. When you prove to yourself repeatedly that you can follow through on your commitments, your confidence grows. You begin to believe in your power to shape your reality. This belief acts as a self-reinforcing loop. Strong habits build self-trust, and self-trust motivates stronger habits. It creates a foundation where fear and doubt lose their grip. You start to see setbacks as temporary and within your control, rather than as confirmation of failure. This mindset shift transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth. Focusing on your habits also means honoring your natural rhythms and needs. Growth does not come from forcing yourself into exhaustion or burnout. It comes from balancing effort with rest, challenge with compassion. Listening to your body and mind ensures that your habits are sustainable and nourishing. When you align your habits with your authentic needs, you create a flow that supports long-term success rather than short bursts of energy followed by collapse. This balance is a vital part of focusing on yourself. It means respecting your limits while pushing your potential. Choosing your habits with intention is an act of empowerment. It means taking control of your daily life and steering it toward your dreams. This process turns abstract goals into practical action and builds a life rooted in purpose and self-respect. Every habit you cultivate becomes a brick in the foundation of the person you are becoming. When your habits align with your true self, you unlock a powerful force for transformation. This force carries you beyond fear, doubt, and distraction, straight into the life you deserve. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality, and controlling them is the most profound act of self-focus you can master. Every thought sets a tone, shapes your emotions, and guides your actions. When your mind is cluttered with doubt, fear, and comparison, your energy scatters and your potential diminishes. But when you learn to harness your thoughts, to direct them with intention, you create a powerful internal environment where focus, clarity, and courage thrive. This mental mastery is the gateway to transformation because it moves you from being a victim of your mind to the creator of your experience. The mind naturally drifts toward negativity and distraction because it is wired to protect you from harm. This protective mechanism often backfires, keeping you trapped in cycles of worry and self-sabotage. To focus on yourself means training your mind to recognize these patterns without judgment and gently redirecting your attention to what serves your growth. This is not about forcing positivity or ignoring challenges. It's about choosing where you place your mental energy. You decide which thoughts deserve your time and which ones you release. This conscious control rewires your brain, strengthening neural pathways linked to resilience, creativity, and optimism. Attention is a finite resource. What you focus on expands. If your mind lingers on others' opinions, past mistakes, or imagined fears, these thoughts grow stronger and consume your energy. Redirecting your focus inward requires discipline and awareness. Meditation, mindfulness, or simply pausing to breathe can break the cycle of reactive thinking. These practices build mental muscles that help you stay present and aligned with your goals. When your attention is fully on yourself, your values, your progress, your needs, you harness the full power of your mind to create meaningful change. Mental focus also deepens your emotional connection to your purpose. When your mind wanders, your emotions follow, often leading to confusion or discouragement. But when you intentionally guide your thoughts toward your aspirations, your feelings align with your vision. This alignment generates motivation that is not fleeting, but deeply rooted in your identity. It fuels persistence, even when external circumstances are tough. Your emotions become allies in your journey rather than obstacles, giving you the strength to keep going when the path feels uncertain. Letting go of mental clutter and distractions is essential for this focus. Multitasking, social media, and constant noise fragment your attention and drain your willpower. Creating intentional moments of silence and solitude recharges your mental clarity and sharpens your ability to concentrate. This mental discipline transforms overwhelm into order and doubt into confidence. It allows you to approach challenges with calmness and precision, making your actions more effective and purposeful. Taking control of your thoughts is a daily choice and a profound act of self-love. It honors your right to live on your terms, to define your worth, and to pursue your dreams without internal sabotage. This mental empowerment is the foundation of all lasting change. When your mind becomes a focused, supportive force, your life unfolds with clarity, courage, and unstoppable momentum. Your thoughts become your greatest allies, guiding you steadily toward the best version of yourself. Your emotions are the compass that guides your inner world, and learning to understand them is essential to focusing on yourself. Emotions are not weaknesses or obstacles. They are powerful signals that reveal what matters most to you. When you deny or suppress your feelings to avoid discomfort, you disconnect from your true self. This disconnection breeds confusion, anxiety, and distraction. But when you face your emotions with courage and curiosity, you gain clarity and control. Emotional awareness becomes a tool that deepens your self-focus and fuels your growth. Emotions arise to communicate needs, values, and boundaries. Anger may signal injustice, sadness may call for healing, and joy highlights what fulfills you. By tuning into these messages instead of pushing them away, you develop a stronger connection to your inner truth. This connection makes it easier to make decisions aligned with your authentic self, rather than reacting to external pressures or outdated fears. Emotional intelligence strengthens your ability to stay centered amid chaos, transforming turbulent feelings into clear signals that guide your path. The process of embracing your emotions requires vulnerability, which is often mistaken for weakness. True vulnerability is a profound act of strength. It means facing discomfort without running away, allowing yourself to be seen by your own soul. This honesty with yourself breaks the cycle of emotional avoidance that keeps you stuck in patterns of self-doubt or comparison. When you give your emotions space, you reduce their power to control you unconsciously. Instead, they become allies that inform your growth and keep your focus sharp and intentional. Managing your emotions effectively means practicing self-compassion. It means acknowledging that feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, or uncertain is part of being human, not a failure. Self-compassion creates a safe internal space where emotions can be felt without judgment. This safety fosters healing and resilience, allowing you to bounce back stronger from setbacks. It also encourages patience with yourself when progress feels slow, preventing discouragement from derailing your journey. Compassionate self-talk combined with emotional awareness creates an unshakable foundation for focusing on yourself deeply and authentically. Learning to regulate emotions doesn't mean suppressing them or pretending to be unaffected. It means developing skills to respond rather than react. This might involve breathing techniques, grounding exercises, or simply pausing before acting. These practices build emotional resilience, enabling you to navigate challenges with calm and clarity. Emotional regulation is essential for maintaining focus because it prevents impulsive decisions driven by fear or anger. Instead, you act with intention, aligned with your goals and values. When you integrate emotional awareness and regulation into your daily life, you unlock a new level of self-mastery. Your emotions no longer dictate your actions. Instead, they inform your choices. This shift empowers you to maintain steady focus on your growth, regardless of external chaos or internal noise. Emotional intelligence becomes the secret strength that fuels your courage, persistence, and authenticity. It transforms your journey into one of profound self-discovery and unstoppable momentum. By embracing your emotions as guides rather than enemies, you reclaim your power. You create an inner world where feelings are honored and integrated, not ignored or feared. This emotional harmony anchors your focus on yourself, paving the way for lasting transformation and deep fulfillment. Your emotional strength is the heartbeat of your self-focus, driving you forward with clarity, purpose, and unwavering belief in your potential. The choices you make every day define the trajectory of your life more than any external circumstance. Focusing on yourself means owning these choices fully, recognizing that your power lies in deciding how to respond, what to pursue, and who you become. This ownership is liberating because it shifts responsibility away from blame, fear, or doubt and into your hands. It gives you control over your destiny. No matter what challenges arise, the awareness that your choices matter is a fuel that ignites action and transformation from within. Making intentional choices requires clarity about what truly matters to you. When you align your decisions with your values and long-term vision, your life begins to reflect authenticity and purpose. This alignment generates inner peace because you've stopped fighting yourself. You no longer waste energy trying to please others or conform to expectations that don't resonate with your core. Each choice becomes a step toward becoming the person you admire, strengthening your self-respect and determination. This process builds momentum that carries you through doubt and setbacks. It is vital to recognize that choice is not always about big dramatic decisions. Often it is in the small, consistent actions that change takes root. Choosing to start your day with intention, to set boundaries, to prioritize your well-being, these choices compound over time. They shape your habits, mindset, and ultimately your identity. The power of choice is amplified when practiced daily because it rewires your brain to seek growth rather than comfort. Every intentional decision is a vote for the life you want to live, reinforcing your focus on yourself. Fear often disguises itself as indecision or hesitation, tempting you to surrender your power. When fear clouds your judgment, it feels safer to avoid making choices altogether. But choosing not to choose is, in fact, a choice that often leads to stagnation and regret. Recognizing fear as a natural emotion rather than a stop sign is crucial. It signals areas where growth is needed, but it does not have to dictate your actions. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act despite fear. Owning your choices means choosing courage, even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. Accountability is the partner of choice. When you hold yourself accountable for your decisions and their outcomes, you empower your growth. Accountability strengthens your integrity and builds trust between you and yourself. It transforms setbacks into lessons rather than failures. This mindset encourages resilience because you take responsibility for your progress and adjust course without blame or excuses. The deeper your accountability, the stronger your commitment to focusing on yourself becomes. Choosing yourself means prioritizing your dreams, health, and peace over external approval or validation. It means giving yourself permission to say no, to protect your time and energy, and to invest in your growth. This radical self-respect rewires your relationship with choice from obligation to empowerment. When you consistently choose yourself, you build a life rooted in authenticity and aligned with your highest potential. Your choices become the foundation of transformation, propelling you beyond fear and distraction toward unstoppable fulfillment. Your environment is the silent architect of your habits, thoughts, and emotions. It influences your ability to focus on yourself more than you might realize. Surroundings filled with distractions, negativity, or chaos pull your attention outward, diluting your energy and clouding your clarity. To focus on yourself deeply, it's essential to curate your environment consciously, shaping it to support your growth, peace, and purpose. This is not about perfection or control. It is about creating a space that honors your highest potential and helps you stay aligned with your goals. The places where you spend your time are extensions of your inner world. When your environment reflects calm, order, and inspiration, your mind follows suit. Physical clutter, noise, or toxic relationships create mental clutter that drains motivation and increases stress. By intentionally removing what no longer serves you and adding what nurtures your spirit, you reclaim control over your focus. This intentionality sends a powerful message to your brain. You are choosing to prioritize your well-being and development above external distractions. Your environment also includes the people you interact with daily. Relationships that support your values, encourage your dreams, and challenge you to grow are vital to sustaining self-focus. Conversely, connections rooted in negativity, criticism, or comparison drain your energy and weaken your confidence. Focusing on yourself means setting boundaries that protect your mental and emotional space. Saying no to toxic influences is an act of radical self-respect. It allows you to channel your energy toward nourishing relationships that lift you higher and inspire courage. Technology, though powerful, is often a double-edged sword in your environment. Constant notifications, social media, and endless streams of information fragment your attention and fuel comparison. Learning to manage your digital space is critical for deep focus. Creating intentional habits around device use, such as scheduled breaks, limiting social media, or using apps that promote productivity, frees your mind from distraction. This digital discipline is a necessary step in reclaiming your attention and directing it inward to what truly matters. The sensory atmosphere around you, the light, colors, sounds, and smells, also affects your ability to focus on yourself. These subtle elements can either energize or drain you. Choosing environments or adjusting your current space to include natural light, calming colors, or soothing sounds supports mental clarity and emotional balance. Small changes like these can have a profound impact on your daily mindset, making it easier to stay connected to your goals and grounded in your purpose.
Curating your environment is not a one-time act, but an ongoing practice that evolves with your growth.
As you focus more on yourself, your needs and desires will shift. Staying attuned to these changes and adapting your surroundings accordingly ensures that your environment remains a powerful ally rather than a hidden barrier. This continuous adjustment deepens your commitment to self-focus and creates a sustainable foundation for transformation. By taking ownership of your environment, you reclaim a vital source of energy and clarity. You create a space that supports your journey rather than detracts from it. This conscious design of your external world becomes a mirror of your internal commitment to growth. When your environment champions your focus on yourself, it accelerates your transformation, empowering you to move forward with unwavering clarity, strength, and purpose. The energy you invest in your thoughts shapes your reality more than any external event. Every moment spent dwelling on others, their opinions, successes, or failures, drains your focus and diminishes your power. Shifting your energy inward is the cornerstone of true transformation. When you consciously direct your mental and emotional resources toward yourself, you build an unbreakable foundation of strength, clarity, and growth. This redirection is not selfishness. It is the most necessary act of self-preservation and empowerment. Thoughts are the architects of your emotions and actions. Negative or distracting thoughts about others breed anxiety, jealousy, or self-doubt. These emotions consume your energy and scatter your focus like wildfires burning through dry grass. But when you catch yourself in these patterns and consciously choose to refocus on your own journey, you reclaim your power. Your mind becomes a fertile ground where confidence, creativity, and resilience can take root and flourish. This mental discipline transforms distraction into clarity and weakness into strength. The brain's natural tendency is to wander, especially toward what is unfamiliar or threatening. Social comparisons are a mental trap designed to keep you stuck in survival mode. Awareness of this tendency is the first step in breaking free. By recognizing when your mind drifts toward others' lives, you empower yourself to gently bring your attention back. This act of mindfulness strengthens your self-control and nurtures a deeper connection with your own goals and values. It trains your brain to prioritize your growth over external noise. Energy invested in worrying about what others think creates a heavy burden that weighs down your spirit. This invisible load limits your capacity to focus, dream, and take action. When you free yourself from the need for external validation, you open space for authentic self-expression. Your energy becomes a powerful force, fueling your passions and pushing you toward your potential. This freedom ignites courage because you no longer act to please but to become. The liberation from external judgments is the gateway to inner peace and unstoppable focus. Your energy is finite, and where you choose to place it determines your reality. Guarding it fiercely means saying no to distractions and yes to practices that recharge and empower you. Investing in self-care, learning, and reflection replenishes your reserves and amplifies your capacity to focus. This cycle of intentional energy investment creates momentum that propels you forward even when obstacles arise. It anchors you in purpose, reminding you that your power grows when you nurture yourself first. Letting go of the energy spent on others is a continuous practice that demands courage and patience. Each moment of redirection strengthens your ability to remain centered in your own truth. Over time, this practice rewires your brain for resilience, clarity, and sustained motivation. You begin to embody the unshakable belief that your life is yours to create, and your energy is your most precious resource. Protecting and directing it inward is the ultimate act of self-love and focus. When you choose to invest your energy wisely, you become the master of your inner world. Your focus sharpens, your goals come into clearer view, and your actions align with your highest self. This mastery over your energy transforms every challenge into an opportunity and every setback into fuel. It ignites a powerful momentum that cannot be stopped. Your energy becomes the beacon that lights the way forward, guiding you steadily toward the life you were meant to live. Your mindset is the lens through which you see every moment, every challenge, and every opportunity. It colors your experience of life and determines whether you focus on yourself or get lost in the shadows of others. Cultivating a mindset rooted in self-belief, growth, and possibility transforms how you engage with the world. It turns obstacles into stepping stones and fear into fuel. This shift in perspective is not a mere thought exercise. It is a powerful force that rewires your brain and aligns your actions with your deepest purpose. When you choose to nurture a growth mindset, you affirm that your abilities and potential are not fixed but expandable. This belief ignites a hunger for learning, improvement, and self-discovery that centers your attention inward. Instead of being distracted by others' successes or judgments, your focus sharpens on your own evolution. The growth mindset encourages resilience because it sees failure not as an endpoint, but as a vital part of progress. This redefinition of setbacks strengthens your commitment to yourself and your vision. Limiting beliefs act as invisible chains, keeping you trapped in comparison and self-doubt. These beliefs whisper lies about your worth, your capabilities, and your right to pursue happiness and success. Identifying and challenging these mental barriers is essential for focusing on yourself. Each time you confront a limiting belief, you chip away at the walls that block your growth. Replacing doubt with affirmations of strength and potential rewires your brain, making confidence your default state. This transformation deepens your emotional connection to your goals and fuels unstoppable momentum. Your mindset also governs how you handle criticism, both external and internal. When your focus is scattered by others' opinions, every critique feels like a personal attack, shaking your foundation. But a mindset anchored in self-awareness and compassion reframes criticism as valuable feedback rather than a verdict on your worth. This perspective frees you from fear and defensiveness, allowing you to grow without losing sight of your core. Focusing on yourself means building this inner resilience, so external voices no longer dictate your value or direction. Gratitude is a powerful mindset practice that amplifies your focus on yourself by shifting attention away from what others have or what you lack. Gratitude grounds you in the present moment and highlights the progress you've made. It rewires your brain to notice opportunities instead of obstacles, abundance instead of scarcity. When gratitude becomes a daily habit, it quiets the noise of comparison and fuels a deep appreciation for your journey. This appreciation nurtures motivation, joy, and a profound sense of self-worth that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Mindset is the soil from which every choice, action, and emotion grows. By cultivating a mindset of growth, resilience, and gratitude, you create a fertile ground for focusing on yourself authentically and powerfully. This mental environment nurtures your dreams and transforms your challenges into fuel for progress. Your mindset is not static. It is a dynamic force you can shape every day through conscious effort and intention. When you harness this force, you unlock the door to limitless potential and step fully into your power. True focus requires discipline, the unwavering commitment to return your attention to what matters most again and again, no matter the distractions. Discipline is the bridge between your intentions and your actions, the invisible muscle that grows stronger each time you choose yourself over the noise. Without discipline, even the clearest vision fades into frustration and regret. But with it, you build unstoppable momentum, moving steadily toward the life you desire, anchored in purpose and clarity. Discipline begins with small decisions made consistently. It's choosing to silence the chatter of comparison and self-doubt, to push past discomfort and resistance, and to invest time in your growth every single day. Each choice to focus inward, to nurture your mind and body, strengthens your resilience and sharpens your concentration. This repetition rewires your brain, making focus less of a struggle and more of a habit. Discipline turns fleeting motivation into lasting transformation by creating structure and routine that support your highest self. Resistance will come, inevitably. It may appear as procrastination, fear, or distraction, whispering that your efforts are too hard or not worth it. Discipline does not mean ignoring these feelings, but acknowledging them and choosing to act despite them. This conscious choice deepens your inner strength and expands your capacity for endurance. Every time you overcome resistance, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of more than you imagined. Discipline becomes a declaration of self-respect and commitment to your potential. Structure is an essential ally in discipline. Creating boundaries around your time and energy protects your focus from the endless pull of external demands. It means carving out dedicated moments for reflection, learning, and action. Moments when you are fully present with yourself and your goals. This structure isn't rigid or punitive. It is a container that nurtures your growth and honors your priorities. When you guard your focus with clear boundaries, you build a sanctuary for your transformation to thrive. Self-compassion is vital in sustaining discipline. The path to focusing on yourself is not linear or perfect. There will be days when distraction wins, when motivation wanes, or when doubt creeps in. Instead of harsh judgment, discipline paired with compassion allows you to gently redirect your focus without shame or guilt. This balance fuels sustainable progress because it acknowledges your humanity while encouraging your highest effort. Compassion keeps your momentum alive by reminding you that every step forward matters. Discipline is the engine driving the shift from dreaming to doing. It converts your deepest desires into concrete actions and lasting habits. When you cultivate discipline, you claim ownership of your journey. You move beyond reaction and distraction into intentional creation. This power transforms your focus from a fragile wish into a formidable force, one that propels you steadily toward your vision with unwavering resolve and grace. Through discipline, you learn that focus on yourself is not a luxury, but a necessity. It is the foundation for growth, courage, and transformation. Each disciplined choice builds a future where your potential unfolds fully, where your dreams are realized through consistent effort, and where your inner strength becomes unshakable. This is the power that comes when you commit to yourself completely and never look away.